Ezekiel saw the wheel. This is the wheel he said he saw. These are unidentified flying objects that people say they are seeing now. Are they proof that we are being visited by civilizations from other stars? Or just what are they? The United States Air Force began an investigation of this high strangeness in a search for the truth. What you are about to see is part of that 20-year search.
Of it. I've never seen anything like that.
For this job, I was told it would be interesting and exciting, something new happening all the time. What they didn't tell me was that it would always happen in the middle of the night.
Libby, if it weren't for this job, you'd just be home asleep in a nice warm bed. When did this come in?
2240 from the FBI field office in Reno.
Fremont, Nevada, 70 miles southeast of Reno. Any confirms?
Yes and no. The original sighting was 10 miles southwest of Fremont. The only confirm, if that's what it is, was in Fremont 20 minutes later. A gas station attendant named Frank Marco reported that he saw 3 large circular objects moving across the sky towards the northeast.
But we can't be sure if there's any connection.
Right.
This may have some connection, though. The phone call I received right before you got here, the police chief in Carson City. A citizen reported a piece of a flying saucer crashed through his roof. The man said he saw 3 objects moving through the sky right before the thing crashed through his roof.
And Carson City's in a direct line with the other 2 sightings. Or let's take the first one. Who's the witness?
Robert Lee Armstrong, 36 years old, married, 2 children. Member of the Fremont Police Department for 7 years. An excellent record. A reliable, no-nonsense policeman.
He saw some kind of alien beings?
That's what the man said.
I tried to get a T-39 for the morning, but they were all scheduled. So I got you 2 tickets to Reno on Mid-America Airlines and ordered transportation out of Stead.
If we leave tonight, we can get there, catch a few hours sleep, and be at the site first thing tomorrow morning. Libby, get 3 tickets for tonight.
3?
Yeah, you're going with us. I have a feeling we're going to need all the help we can get on this one. You want to go home, throw some things in a bag?
Well, who's going to feed my kitty? He's too small to feed himself.
Hire a cat sitter.
Is this in my contract?
I didn't know you had one, Sugar.
I don't. Maybe that's my problem. Why you guys don't take this suite and let me take a single room?
We can use this as an office. What is that?
That is hungry. I better get him some milk.
You mean you smuggled him on the plane?
You smuggle contraband. That he's not.
All right, Harry. Let's head for the police station and see if we can find Robert Lee Armstrong.
At this time in the morning? He'd either be at home asleep or on duty.
Right. But we're not going to find that out sitting around here, are we?
What happened to that few hours sleep we were going to get?
You still get that in. It's only 2 a.m.
That's local time. My eyelids are still on Eastern time.
I'm surprised at you, Sergeant. Don't you know that too much sleep dulls the senses?
I reckon it does. Just on this job, I've never been in a position to find out.
I help you, gentlemen?
This is Harry Fitz. I'm Gatlin, Project Blue Book.
Oh, you're here about the flying saucer.
Yes, sir.
Robert Lee sure put his foot in it this time.
How's that?
Well, those little green men from Mars. If you ask me, Robert Lee's been pulling on the bottle a little bit.
Armstrong have a drinking problem?
Well,
I'm
yeah.
Chief Gaffey. Anything you want to know about Armstrong, you ask me, Major.
Fair enough. Let's start with the question I just asked.
The answer is no, emphatically. Armstrong doesn't drink. And let's get something else straight, Major. I don't want anyone coming in here, the FBI, the Air Force, the press, anyone, trying to make Robert Lee into some kind of fool.
Sir, we came out here to investigate a report of a UFO. We're not here to build up or tear down anybody's character.
Want some coffee?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. We sure could use it. You work this late all the time, Chief?
Oh, this place has been a madhouse tonight. Haven't got any work done. Those newspaper men have been all over me like a case of hives.
We know you're tired, but there are a couple of questions we'd like to ask you.
Thank you.
Has the sighting area been secured?
Yeah, the FBI and the National Guard has the whole area roped off. They told us to keep it secured till you boys got here.
Just one more thing. Tell us about Robert Lee Armstrong.
Well, Robert Lee joined the department 7 years ago. First black man on the force. Matter of fact, he's still the only one. We both had to overcome a lot of small-town bigotry. I don't mind telling you, I took a lot of heat when I hired him. I'll tell you something else. I never regretted it. He's a good man, Major. One of the best we've got. He's honest, dedicated, good family man. Total professional.
Can you tell us where he lives?
Well, he's out on patrol in the North Sector. Jacobs called in sick tonight, and Robert Lee took a double shift. McGrath, write down Robert Lee's address for the Major. Gotta be home about 8.
We hurry, Major. We can sneak in about 4 hours sleep.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. One more thing. How does Armstrong get along with the townspeople?
You mean was someone playing a practical joke on him?
Something like that.
Well, it's possible, Major, but if that's true, I'll tell you this. Someone went to an awful lot of trouble.
Thank you very much. You're not still tired.
No, sir. 3 hours of uninterrupted sleep? How could I be, sir?
Mrs. Armstrong?
Yes?
This is Sergeant Harry Fitz. I'm Jake Gatlin. We're with Project Blue Book. Is your husband home?
This is about the UFO he reported?
Yes, ma'am.
He should be back any minute. Would you like to come in?
Thank you.
Would you like some coffee?
Yes, ma'am. Sure appreciate it.
Major?
Yes, please.
I wonder, would you like some grits, Sergeant?
Grits?
My mother sends them to me from Alabama.
Ma'am, I hadn't had any real grits since I was back home.
Where's that, Sergeant?
6 miles South Carolina, ma'am. Northern part of the state.
It'll only take a minute. Please, sit down.
Thank you.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Would it be asking too much to drop a boiled egg in them?
I had that in mind.
Thank you.
If you'd have gotten up a half hour earlier, you could have had breakfast with me.
No offense, Major, but the way it turned out, I'm glad I waited.
Mama!
David, what happened?
I had to fight, Mama. They said Daddy was crazy. Daddy's seeing things.
That's all right, David. Come on, let's get cleaned up.
Is that what you think, too? That I'm crazy? Seeing things? Maybe I was just plain drunk?
No, Mr. Armstrong, we don't think any of those things. Harry Fitz, I'm Jake Gatlin. You reported seeing a UFO. We're here to investigate the sighting.
You read the report? Strange, huh?
Preferred stranger.
I don't think anybody believes me. People are starting to look at me like I'm crazy.
Our job is to determine exactly what it was you did see.
What you mean is I didn't see a flying saucer.
You were there. We weren't. And we're not here to pin a tail on you. We're not here to prove you didn't see something. We're here to prove you did. But we're going to need some hard evidence.
Okay. What do you need?
Can we take a little walk, Mr. Armstrong?
Bob.
What did you see?
Well, when I first saw what looked like an explosion, I was sure it was the dynamite shack. When I got there, everything was okay. And for some reason, my bike motor quit. And then I saw a greenish blue light coming from down in the gully. I couldn't get my bike motor to kick over, so I took off on foot.
What did you do then?
I guess I just laid there behind that bush for a few minutes. Dear God, I just never saw anything like that. I was still scared. I thought maybe that thing would come back. I didn't want to be there alone if it did. I didn't know if my radio would work or not, but I tried. Sam.
This is Robert Lee, Sam. Do you read me? Come in, Sam. I need help.
Yeah, go ahead, Robert Lee.
Sam, get over here by the dynamite shack.
Quick.
What is it? What's the problem?
Just get here quick, Sam.
I'm on my way. Here's your driver's license.
No ticket.
We notified State Air Force Base and the FBI. They told us they'd be out to secure the area as soon as possible. The location was some 48 miles out in the desert. It got dark. Sam and I took one last look at the site. Look at that, Sam. How many of those things do you make out?
3 of them, I think.
Look at that snakeweed. Do you know how hot a fire has to be to burn green snakeweed?
Something was here, Robert Lee. That's for sure.
Aside from the burning snakeweed and the imprints, did you see anything else?
We didn't go any closer than we had to. We didn't want to backtrack over any other possible physical evidence. Now, what I've told you is the truth. I swear it. You can check with my partner, Sam.
All right, Bob. We're going to go out to the site now. We'll let you know what we find.
I'm going with you.
Been in a long night, Bob. You gotta be bushed.
You don't think I can rest with this hanging over my head, do you?
Okay, Major, it's all yours. Thank you.
Probably looking for a gas station. They give you a ride in your flying saucer, Robert Lee?
Let's finish this up and get him out of here.
Right. Armstrong, were they black or white? Are you kidding? They were green.
Let's go. Bob, you reckon your wife kept those grits warm? I don't mind telling you. I'm starving. You know, she said she'd drop a boiled egg in them. She's from Alabama.
Give our regards to those.
Only thought they did that in South Carolina.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, Libby. You look like you slept good.
I did. Here's something that should wake you up. Mr. Henry Marsden, the gentleman whose house was hit by a piece of flying saucer. It seems his lawyer has called General Danville at Wright-Patterson demanding to know what action the Air Force is going to take, like who's going to pay for the damages. Naturally, the general called here and...
And we're to proceed to Carson City as soon as possible.
Right. Here's the address.
Libby, your efficiency is underwhelming.
Here are the interviews with Armstrong and his partner, Sam Carver. Can you type them up, please?
Sure.
Come on, Sergeant, we're on our way. I'm going to stop off at that gas station and interview that attendant first, and we'll drive over to Carson City.
Didn't slavery end in 1863?
Did for me. Sort of.
Tell you what I'll do. After we leave the gas station, I'll drive, and you can sleep.
Major, I think I forgot how.
Yeah, most excitement we've had around here since the gasoline truck blew up over on the interstate.
Could you describe exactly what you saw last night, Mr. Marco?
Well, there were 2 big round lights going through the sky right up there. Or did he say 3?
You said he, Mr. Marco.
Oh, yeah, the salesman. Well, he was the one who actually saw it. I was inside writing up the ticket. But he told me all about it.
You know the name of this salesman?
No, I never saw him before, but I remember he had an out-of-state license. Utah, I think.
Did he pay by cash or credit card?
Credit card, that's what I was writing.
Do you mind going through your tickets for yesterday? It's really important we find this man.
Yeah, sure. Only take a minute. Come on. Yeah, here it is. Mutual, I told you.
Albert Harker, license number VUC532. Can I use your phone, please?
That's against company rules. Payphone's right around the corner.
Government telephone credit card.
Is that a fact? Well, I guess in that case, be okay.
I'll call Libby and have her check this out.
Telephone credit card. No wonder our taxes keep going up.
Mr. Marsden?
That's right. Your Air Force, Blue Book. See the damage it did?
Yes, sir.
Come on in.
Thank you.
In the den, gentlemen. This is Mrs. Marsden and my attorney, Milton Short.
I'm Gatlin. This is Sergeant Fitz.
How do you do? Well, Major, the Air Force seems to have a problem.
Mr. Marsden, do you think you could tell us what happened here last night?
I was coming home from work. It was about 6:30, I think. I looked in the garden for the evening paper. The boy hasn't hit the porch in 6 months. I ran into the house and found my wife lying on the floor in terrible pain.
Yeah, Major, it's our contention that the Air Force, without provocation, attacked the UFO, blew it up, thereby causing a fragment to crash into the Marsden house. Now, at the time, Mrs. Marsden was standing on a stool hanging a picture. Shocked by the noise, she fell off, severely injuring the third cervical vertebrae in her neck. Now, we hold that the Air Force, acting in an irresponsible manner, with complete disregard for the safety of its citizens, is solely responsible for this tragedy. Therefore, we intend to bring suit in federal court against the United States Air Force for $1 million for personal injury, mental anguish, and property damage.
That's a very interesting hypothesis, Mr. Short.
Well, we're aware of the Air Force's efforts to cover up all UFO incidents. We feel a lawsuit can serve the purpose of casting some very bright light into some very dark corners.
Sir, I wonder if we could have a look at that object that fell through your roof.
Henry, why don't you show it to them?
Well, as you can see, Major, an object of this size and weight falling from such a great height could easily have killed someone.
Tell them about the writing.
Oh, yes. There on the polished side, those hieroglyphics. They're either an alien language or a map of the universe. Either way, unquestionably from another world.
Can we take this with us?
Well, by all means. I figured you would want to have it analyzed, but we would like to have it back. And we would like a signed receipt.
Yes, sir, you've got it.
Anything on that salesman that guy at the gas station told us about? What was his name? Albert Harker?
Right here. DMV came through for us. He lives in Salt Lake City. Here's his address.
We'll fly up there tonight.
You sure you wouldn't rather go first thing in the morning?
They have motels in Salt Lake City too, Harry. We'll finish up there tonight and sleep in the morning.
Well, on that basis, I'll go with you. Actually, I would anyway.
Let me check with local base operations and get a rundown on all military air traffic that was in this vicinity last night.
Okay.
I'll check with you in the morning.
Cat's got the right idea.
You gentlemen, but I've never been to Fremont, Nevada. I haven't even been out of town this whole week.
Then how do you explain your car being in Fremont last night?
It was simple. It was stolen. Along with my wallet and all my credit cards. I notified the police yesterday.
I see.
That's only the downside. The upside is they caught the guy. He's in the county jail right now. Name's Maynard Timmons.
Evening, gents. I don't think you're going to find many recruits in here.
We'd like to talk to you about what you saw last night in Fremont, Mr. Timmons.
Please. Maynard.
Somebody starts calling me mister, I think I'm in front of the judge.
Can you tell us what you saw at that gas station?
The gas station. That's why you fellas are here, huh? You want to know about the flying saucers?
Just tell us what you saw, if you will, Maynard.
Sure, I'll be glad to. See, I was on my way back to Salt Lake. After a little business trip, I stopped for gas in Fremont. While I was waiting for the attendant, I looked up, and that's when I saw those 3 lights in the sky. And one of them started to blink Morse code. Straight up, just like that. Still blinking out Morse code.
How did you know that it was Morse code?
Well, I was a signalman in the Army. WW2, you know, the big one? And they were sending me a message.
Can you tell us what the message said?
Well, I could. But I won't. See, something I learned a long time ago. Never give anything away if you can sell it. You read me?
Loud and clear. No sale.
Guard? You read what he tapped out?
$10,000.
Maynard's gonna play the game for all it's worth. He gets enough publicity, he may up the ante. Have enough for bail money.
Check square one. Unreliable witness.
You know, when you're quiet that long, you're usually cutting travel orders.
I was just thinking about that motorcycle cop, Armstrong. Maybe a long shot, but we better check it out. Head for the airport.
I knew it. Where to?
Houston.
Tonight? What about that motel and sleeping in and all that?
They've got motels in Houston.
Well, that's what you said about here in Salt Lake City.
I know, but they got more in Houston. And bigger. 10 minutes out of Houston.
Want coffee, Mage?
Thanks.
Thank you, miss. Appreciate it. Here you are, sir.
Got a headache?
All the time. These are sugar nose. Want some, sir?
Thanks.
This is my 5th cup today. Had the other 4 black.
Makes sense.
I forgot I brought them along. I've been meaning to ask you, sir. You worked this UFO detail for over 5 years now. You ever seen one?
Yes, I have.
You never told me.
You never asked.
I won't reach for the tape recorder to take notes.
It's on the record. It was about a year before I signed on with Blue Book. I was ferrying a rebuilt B-25 out of Tinker AFB, Oklahoma City, to March Air Force Base in California. It was part of the Iran program.
Inspection and repairs necessary.
Right. It was one of the old warbirds, still camouflaged from service in Korea. The purpose of the flight was to check out the modified Wright radials. They had installed some newly designed collector exhaust rings. Frank Beeman, the factory engine rep, was aboard, along with my co-pilot, First Lieutenant Bob King, and the flight engineer, Carl Kramer. It was 1,400 hours. We were about 15 minutes west of Albuquerque, New Mexico. The factory rep was happy with the way his new exhaust rings were behaving. The co-pilot, Bob King, was flying the aircraft. I had my seat all the way back on the rails, and that's when I first saw it.
o'clock high. See it?
Oh, yes, sir. I see it now. Looks like a craze on the windshield to me, sir.
I've got it. I'm going to start a turn to the right. If it's a craze, it'll disappear in the turn. If it's a target, it'll slide across the windshield right to left at the same rate of the turn.
Well, you're right, sir. That's no craze. It's an aircraft.
Negative. We're gaining on it. We're at 12.5. That target has to be at 30,000 feet. I make its speed 150 knots. What aircraft do you know that can operate that slowly at that altitude?
Oh, it's about to cross through our altitude. It's dead ahead, Captain.
Increasing pitch and power.
Closing at the same rate, sir. 50-knot differential.
What do you make of it?
I've never seen anything like that.
Get in line.
It's got to be a weather balloon, something like that.
Negative. Jet streams don't flow east to west, and that's the course we're on. Damn thing's going for the deck.
That's moving down to treetop level.
Down the bombardier's compartment. Get hooked up and talk to me.
Yes, sir.
Does anyone have a camera?
Bombardier's compartment. I'm on, sir. Do you read?
Very good. You have a camera?
No, sir. Sorry, sir. So am I.
Kramer.
Yes, sir.
Listen up. All right, everybody. I make that object as perfectly circular. I estimate its diameter at approximately 60 feet. Agreed?
I'd say the maximum depth at the center of the object is roughly 10 feet.
I make no wings or empennage on the bogey.
Correct.
One more thing, sir. The ground shadow. I read it clear, sir. It's making a shadow. It's perfectly round, like a big black silver dollar.
Whatever that is, it's solid mass. If it throws a shadow, it's got to be solid.
The rate of close now 100 feet per second, sir.
Going full power.
Mixture full, Rich. That thing's not operating on its own.
Must have some kind of intelligent control.
I don't see it, sir.
It's gone. Kramer.
No, sir. I don't see a thing.
All right, Kramer, take one last good look around. Keep your eyes peeled.
Roger, sir.
Upstairs.
Roger.
Get us back on the proper heading. Trim for straight and level. All right. Here's what I propose. We'll be sitting down at March in about 2 hours. I suggest we do not discuss this incident among ourselves in the meantime. I would like you not to talk it over with anyone on the ground. Don't make any telephone calls. Just don't talk about it. I'd like all of you to write it up in your own words. Describe exactly what you saw today. Agreed?
Sir, I don't know what we saw, but we sure as hell saw something.
The next morning at 0800 hours, I had all three of their reports on my desk. I compared them with mine.
How'd they read?
Like I wrote them all myself. Exactly the same.
You said you weren't with Blue Book at the time. Was it ever investigated further?
As soon as I read those reports, I turned everything over to the project. And they ran it through the grinder. Weather, reflections, the whole enchilada. Nothing.
And with all that, they assigned you to Blue Book?
Partly because I had that sighting.
That's a fact.
They figured at the very least I'd have an open mind.
That you got, Major.
I must have. I put up with you as my partner.
Very good, sir. I enjoy the way you come up with those zingers.
You're a good man, Harry Fitz. It'd be tough going with anybody else.
Thank you, sir. Sir, these UFOs, the flying saucers, the unknowns, the hoaxes, where do you think it's all taking us?
Funny thing, Harry. You know, most people are spooked by the idea of an alien intelligence dropping in on us. And at the same time, they're excited by the idea. Even jealous when they think it's happened to somebody else. It's a paradox, isn't it?
We're afraid of what we don't know.
And that hasn't changed since the first caveman looked up and saw the first shooting star. From the description Armstrong gave us, it seemed like the only logical thing.
All right. I'll take you at your word, Major. Yes. We have used some Nevada desert areas for classified testing of the LEM LT-8. However, the closest test area to Fremont was over 150 miles away. But the kicker, Major, we haven't tested an LT-8 in the last 5 years.
What about new hardware? Something that might approximate the LEM.
Have you seen our budget lately? No. Almost every dollar that's been allocated is going into the space shuttle.
Would it be possible to get a reel of LEM footage, including the LT-8?
Sure, if you want. Don't know what good it'll do you. That footage is over 5 years old.
Maybe none, but it's a shot.
You guys from Blue Book, you really have a tough job, don't you?
Most of the cases, probably 70%, are explainable. A misreading of a natural phenomenon or some man-made object. And there are the outright hoaxes.
And there's a goodly number of those.
What about the other 30%?
They're the tougher ones. Those are the unknowns.
Vehicles look like what you saw?
Not the same thing.
Are you sure? No similarities?
Well, yeah, some. But they aren't what I saw. Neither one of them. I did notice that one of the machines had 4 legs. The one I saw had 3. It's true, one of the machines could move horizontally, vertically, and could hover just like the one I saw. Oh, and the spacesuits look somewhat alike. But that's all. The thing I saw was rounder, smoother, almost like a big round ball. No, neither of those is what I saw.
We'll be in touch with you as soon as the lab reports get back from the samples we send in.
Major, how do you explain it?
We can't. All we can do is to continue to dig for evidence and try to come to some kind of logical conclusion.
And if there is no logical conclusion?
Operations confirmed the night refueling exercise. Time and location checkout with the Carson City sighting.
3 tankers, 3 floodlights. That could account for the strange lights in the sky.
We also got a report from Allen Observatory. A bowl light exploded in that area about the same time. All the pilots flying the mission confirmed it.
Thank you. That was the university lab on the phone. What we already knew. It was a meteorite.
What about those lab reports? Those brush and sand samples from the Armstrong sighting?
They should be here any minute.
Hey, where's your cat?
I don't know. I think he found a girlfriend.
Well, I'm glad somebody's having a good time.
Mr. Marsden did see lights in the sky. They belong to 3 Air Force jet tankers engaged in a night refueling exercise. The 4th light entered our atmosphere and exploded in the same vicinity as the refueling tankers. It was a bolide, a meteor. And the object that crashed through your roof was this piece of that meteor.
Meteor? What are you talking about? You see these markings? Those are alien to our Earth?
No, sir. What you see there are striations caused when this meteor made its way through our atmosphere.
I assume you can substantiate all this?
Yes, sir, fully. We have documentation from your own Allen Observatory, confirmation by the pilots, and the analysis of the meteorite by the University of Nevada.
Well, Henry, I guess we can pack it in.
You mean we're not going to sue?
Not much profit in suing a meteor.
I have a suggestion for you, Mr. Marsden.
Yeah? What's that?
Why don't you donate the meteorite to the observatory?
Why should I do that?
Maybe you can take it off your income tax as a deduction.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea. Ethel, take that dumb thing off your neck.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. Not to you or anybody.
Just give us a moment of your time.
There's nothing more to discuss.
I think there is, and we don't need this door between us, Bob.
Going somewhere?
I quit the department today. We're getting away from this town and everybody in it. The way I see it, the minute I opened my big mouth, I jumped in it with both feet.
We made a mistake. But it's a mistake this town will never let us forget.
What are you saying, Bob? That you shouldn't have reported something that you saw?
That's right. Oh, it happened the way I said. And no amount of abuse or derision is going to make me change my mind. Not about what I saw. The thing that really sticks in my craw is the fact that nobody, not my neighbors, my friends, not even the people that I worked with, believed me.
Bob, we have no axe to grind. Blue Book was organized to check out the possible existence of UFOs. But in order to prove that existence, we have to have more than hearsay. We have to have hard, incontrovertible facts. Now, you say you saw an object, something you'd never seen before, something totally unknown. You saw 2 figures. Took off and disappeared. That's the way it happened, isn't it? Okay. Now let's discuss the lab reports. Harry?
Item 1. The report indicates no radiation found.
That in itself may not be too significant, but it does indicate whatever propulsion system was used. It wasn't atomic.
Item 2. No fuel residue was found. Item 3. Burning was due to exceptionally high temperatures,
which could have effectively burned off any residue.
Item 4. The penetrometer showed weight distribution at each point of contact. approximately 24,000 pounds.
Which would give the object a weight factor of about 47 tons.
And you know it would be impossible for Sam and me to have made those marks.
Yes, sir, we do.
And what's the answer?
We don't know.
Well, damn it, there was something there.
But we can't prove what.
Then we're right back where we started from. Leaving this town is the only thing we can do. My family's being harassed, my kids beaten up. I can't even do my job right anymore. Just the day I stopped a guy for speeding. He said, "What are you chasing me for? I ain't no flying saucer." It sounds funny, but it sure ain't to me. Staying around here wouldn't be fair to my family, the department, or to me.
Where are you going?
Reno. I got a job there, night watchman in a factory. It ain't much, but we'll make out okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Bob, is there anything we can do to help?
Thanks, Major. But I think we're going to have to find our own way on this one.
Good luck.
Officer Armstrong, we'd like to talk to you for a minute. We heard you quit the force, Bob. And we know we're the cause of it, and we don't like ourselves very much for that. This national news magazine, there's a survey been taken. It says that 54% of the people in this country believe in flying saucers. Well, I guess that leaves some of us in the 46% group that don't. But then we've never seen one.
What he's trying to say, Officer Armstrong, is we've never doubted you as a policeman doing your duty. So, why should we doubt you now?
We all want you to stay, Bob. And if you say you saw something, then damn it, you saw something. And that's the truth of it.
Our house is a mess, but why don't you invite him in?
Well, how should we write it up, Major? Unsolved?
Not altogether, Sergeant.